What's up, everyone? Welcome to my follow-up vlog for Your Name. Yesterday I posted one that was basically just the trip to the theater and some minor thoughts. Didn't get too far into it. I know you guys don't really come here for my stupid friends, so I thought I'd give you a full-on review. So I'm just gonna kind of ramble my way through this and edit it together later. So hopefully it's not too much of a disjointed mess. And of course I'm just holding my phone up, so it's gonna be shaky, so feel free to tab out and just listen to my melodious voice. Just kind of sitting here on the quad, sitting in a chair, talking about anime, so I'm really risking my social life here. So you're welcome, dear viewers. So, Your Name was a very good movie. I'll start with that. I think it was really good. I don't think it was perfect. I think there's definitely lots of problems, but like, what movie is perfect? So, let's kind of just work our way through everything. The easy one to start with is the visuals. It's a Shinkai Makoto film. If you have seen anything by him, you already know what my answer is. The visuals are astounding. It's some of the best looking stuff you can get when you go to Shinkai Makoto. So don't be afraid that you won't like how it looks, because I guarantee you, you will. You have to. It's just that good. Story. And there's going to be spoilers through this whole thing. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't listen unless you're one of those people that's just gonna get spoiled and watch it anyway. That's your prerogative. Spoilers ahead. Last warning. The story is fine. It's a very good concept that I think suffers from minor pacing issues and just kind of the decisions that were made. My friends who had seen it already said they understood things a lot better the second time, and I completely understand that, because there were parts where I was distracted by the fact that I didn't know stuff, instead of that being kind of part of the experience. All I could think of was that I didn't know what was going on, and it seemed to be more of a mistake than an active choice, when it turned out to be an active choice. But it was just the way it was done was tough for me to like register. For instance, when we realized that Mitsuha's entire self that Taki entered was happening, like it all happened 3 years before Taki's present, they don't really ever explain that, and it comes out, they don't explain it later, but there's no hints about that at all, and they never show any dates or like really make it clear what the reference of time is. So I thought they were just like completely forgetting that. Instead, it was an active choice, but the way it was done distracted me and made me not appreciate it as much in the moment. So the second time I'd probably appreciate all that more. There's probably foreshadowing, but I just wasn't catching it. And the way that it all gets resolved is basically like, hey, some magic happens and everything's possible and okay now, and that's fine. But there's times where they attempt to explain it, where Mitsuha's grandma says that all their ancestors were having experiences like Mitsuha was having with changing bodies, and they kind of just say that and leave it at that, and that opens up so much that we don't know. So if you can deal with that, you won't have any issues with the story, really. Towards the end, the story, I think, like the very last bit, basically just becomes 5 centimeters per second, with a happier ending, admittedly. But I was so distracted by that the whole time that I couldn't really appreciate the happy, nice moment in the end. So, story is good, fine. See it twice if you don't get it. But be prepared to be a little confused as to why certain things are happening at certain times, but still overall appreciated, I would say. Characters are awesome, I would say. I think Mitsuha is the best character in the film. She definitely gets more attention, and more of the issues surround her, so she's very fun. And once you find out about her death, it's very touching and sad, and you miss her, and when you finally get her back, it's great and wonderful. Taki is also really good, especially the moments where he's in Mitsuha's body are when he really shines with the way he acts, and both the different ways they act when they're in each body is really interesting. Other notable characters, the senpai character, who Taki has a crush on, is first of all gorgeous. Like, what a cool character design. Waifu material, A+. She is a good way to reflect the weird things that are happening onto someone who isn't involved and doesn't get it. So she's good. Her whole Mitsuha's family and her friends are all good, and they serve the story well. And so are Taki's friends. So no issues with any characters really, which can be tough when you have a large cast, which is not a huge cast, but easy to not give them attention, but this movie does fine with giving characters attention. That's good. The music is pretty good. There's only one notable song that they use many times, but it's a really good song in my opinion. J-rock, kind of punk-ish, but still poppy. Yeah, but I liked it a lot. That's kind of my genre, so I really enjoyed the music of the film. What else is worth touching on? It's not quite as sad as 5 centimeters per second because it gets kind of out of this world, quite literally, with a comet. It's sort of tough to get like super invested in everything, so I was never crying, although there were some moments that made me gasp. My favorite moment in the entire film is when Taki and Mitsuha are writing their names on each other's hands so they won't forget once the final act begins. And while Mitsuha is drawing, she drops the pen suddenly, and it's like, it's so unpredictable. The music cuts out in the middle of a moment. Oh wow, that is such a genius filmmaking moment. I know I've talked a lot about negative space in a lot of my videos, and in a movie that's entirely about dichotomies and binaries with these two characters, there's so much going on. Like, in almost every scene you can find some sort of meaning being conveyed through the space around the characters, so that's really cool. So definitely look for filmmaking stuff like that in the movie, because it is masterfully crafted, because Shinkai Makoto is so good at what he does. So that's cool. Overall, I guess that's really all I have to say. Overall, there is plenty to enjoy, and I hope everyone gets a chance to see it, because A, it's great to go see anime in theaters, and of course, it's a movie worth seeing. So, if you like Shinkai Makoto, you'll like this. If you like somewhat unpredictable stories, you'll like this. If you've been spoiled on it, I had a friend who was spoiled on a pretty big twist that happens, it's still worth seeing. So I think you got plenty to find that you'll like. I can recommend this to anyone who enjoys anime, really. It's going to become a pretty influential, I think, an important piece just with how popular it's been. At the very least, on the effect of wide anime releases, it will be influential. So definitely check it out if you can. If you absolutely hate stuff that doesn't have much action, like if you only like action anime, don't see it. But if you have any taste for character pieces, which hopefully everyone does, because that's kind of the best way to make a movie sometimes, watch it. Just go see it wherever you can. Support anime. So yeah, that's my review. If there's more things you want to know, feel free to comment them. I can continue to do more. I can do a follow-up if people want even more information. And stick around for more vlogs like this. Maybe I can do some more casual reviews like this if you guys want more content on a regular basis, because these are pretty easy to do. And of course, for my big videos that are slightly smarter, where I sound better, and I'm not just filming myself in the middle of my campus. So yeah, I'm Jim Jam. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.